Okay. So I wanted to talk about how my body, my mind, and my spirit have been feeling since talking publicly. I just want to start off saying I didn't slander anyone. My intention was just to talk about something that I carried for over a decade. And if I ever talked about it, I was attacked and told that I'm embarrassing a family. I'm ruining my life. I look dramatic and stupid. People would start talking about the things I did while in pain because of this trauma that I was carrying around. I had no ill intention, and I just want to talk about how it affected my life for a little tiny minute and what's been happening since I talked about it. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I feel different. I feel like I look younger. I don't know. I woke up not thinking today, you know, like okay, that sounded silly, but like I woke up not with my eyes open, like who's gonna talk about me today? You know, like I always woke up like that. I always woke up like worried about Facebook, like who's gonna hate on my work today? And I lived with that mentality for a long time, and today I didn't have it. Today I woke up smiling. Even though there's people mad at me, I don't feel fear anymore. I don't care. Yeah. Okay, so I lived a very toxic life after leaving that situation because of the PTSD. I also picked up survival habits. I had to manipulate to feel alive and stay alive. I had to lie and hide things. I started to almost mirror his energy, and he was a master at his energy. He knew how to stay kind and nice in public and look like a big sweetheart. So it was really confusing for me. I was like, maybe I am the problem. Maybe I am the toxic one. It's like that thing. Is it me? Am I the drama? No, I'm not the drama. That was literally what I was joking about yesterday morning. I can joke about it now. Talking about this doesn't hurt anymore. I don't cry. I don't get mad. In the past, when I would talk about it, I would be told, all you're doing is causing drama. What's your fucking problem? What's wrong with you? You're embarrassing your son. And like, it hurt. How come I couldn't go to the police? How come addressing it directly to them and talking about it, they go silent to me like it's over and done? Because they can't handle hearing what it did to someone else. They killed a spirit. And they keep trying to tell me to leave my son out of it because I posted that my son loves me. My son does love me, and it's not a problem that I said that. They're trying to like remove me being a mother, but I talk to my son every day. And my son comes to me for a lot of things because every child should. When you have a parent always trying to put a bad image on the other, you have to ask, why do they want everyone to hate that person so bad? Why, like, if no one's ever directly had a connection to that person, and I don't know. It's just weird to me. Whenever I see someone trashing another person, I'm always wondering now, because I was on the other side, like, how come you talk so much shit about them? What did you do to them? You know, that's my mentality now. Like, what happened? How come you don't talk about what happened with you? You know? I seen this post. It said, it sucks being at the end of being born at the end of the fuck around generation and entering the find out generation. I thought that was funny because it's the time where people start telling their stories about why things are the way they are. It's not anyone's responsibility to keep a secret, and that's what I was doing for a long time. I was keeping a secret. I was embarrassed of myself for being beat. I was embarrassed of myself every time they posted about me, even though I wasn't talking about them. wasn't interacting with them. I was slandered so much because of the PTSD and the survival state of mind I was in. Like, it all makes sense now. I always wondered, why am I so fucked up? Like, let alone the child abuse, right? Like, let alone the sexual abuse for, like, my whole life. I only had 3 years of no sexual abuse as a little girl. 3 years. Who knows before that? That was just my first memory. Let alone that, plus being abused as a teenager. How come I have to hold on to all these secrets? How come I have to be quiet? It hurt. It destroyed my life. They didn't, but what happened destroyed my life. If I could have talked about it when I was 20 out loud, if I could if I could have wrote a book or had this, I would have been feeling like this way earlier. I feel no shame in talking about my story, and I encourage others to, only if you can handle the backlash. I have one girl who commented on my last video. I was gonna leave it, but people were starting to message and say she's embarrassing herself, and I don't want people to slander her because I was almost dabbling in it. Like, yep, she did this. Yep, she did that. And I was like, wait, no, I don't like this mentality. That's really negative. She's in pain too, and she's too embarrassed, and she thinks it's normal for people to have domestic violence, and it's not normal. PTSD, living in trauma, is not normal. That's the mentality of people who are surrounded by domestic abuse. That's not normal. We should not all have PTSD. We should not all be living in this survival state of mind and energy. That's not normal. Look at the things we do. We hurt people. The guy I dated after this first teenage relationship, I was just like so fucked in the head. I just destroyed him, and he was already destroyed before me. Like, I wish I could have been in a better state of mind. I probably wouldn't have messed with him so bad, right? And my friends, like, just, I don't know. I feel like I fucked up a lot of friends, even recently, like being too fight or flight. Either I disappear and ghost and look shitty, or else I straight up tell them what's on my mind, and it's toxic, you know? And that was starting to happen for me, guys. That, like, holding this in. Okay, so how this started is he came for breakfast, surprising, one day, just before Christmas. Was it just before Christmas? Surprise. I was in a good mood. I wasn't expecting to see him. I just reconciled with someone that I wanted things to work out with. But after I seen him, it was like, I can't. I feel fucked up again. What's happening? And I didn't pin it to him because I verbally and in therapy forgave him. I forgave him the day after I left. I always did. I said, he's in pain. I forgive him, and I'm not going to hold this against him. It's not my responsibility to put someone else in my mental prison, right? And so I always thought, I made peace. That's good. I'm fine. I'm happy. But every time someone would mention him, I would fall in this state of, like, pushing my boyfriends away, or talking shit to people's faces, thinking I was being honest with them. I would turn into this survivor again. And it has been a cycle of ruining my life. Right now I have people attacking my character, and I'm like, I don't care. I don't want to respond. You're mad, and I actually understand why you're mad. You don't want anyone to know about this. But if it happened to you, that's your right to stay quiet. And I have no obligation to tell you to tell your story. That's fine. But I needed to talk about this. I needed to get it out. I needed to take 300 pounds off my back. And that's what I want to tell you guys. I woke up and, like, I could move and flow. My neck's not cracking anymore. And this congestion is going away. You guys go to the beginning of the last video and compare to now. Look at new bitch. I feel different, guys. I actually, he texts me too, and he said I'm embarrassing him, and to delete the post and just stop trying to be involved in his son's life. I don't care if I'm exposing people anymore. I have no ill intention. They're always talking shit about me. I had to take my power back. I had to tell people the truth. I was so sick of seeing screenshots of Twitter posts. Haha, she's such a slut, drug addict trying to help people. And being called a fake light worker because I talked about my trauma. The reason I'm so deep in this path is because I had to heal that deep, and now I can help others. The reason I'm on this path is because of him, and I pay gratitude to him every day. Thank you for teaching me how to build boundaries. Thank you for teaching me how to stay alive when I was near death. When death was right in front of my face and asked me, do you want to come? Thank you. I plan on encouraging everyone to do this, and I stand by everyone who does it. I did doubt myself a lot. I did. After I got the text from him, his mother, and his cousin, I doubted it. I asked people, I'm like, am I wrong? Should I delete this? Like, excuse me. Hold on. I'm releasing a lot of stuff, you guys. Like, I'm sorry, that's so disgusting, but it's been like this the last 24 hours. My eyes were puffy, my face was puffy for crying for 3 hours, 6 hours straight after that video. And it's just, I was carrying something for someone else. I was carrying a secret. And me talking about it didn't trash him. I didn't trash him. I have nothing to do with his life. He's not my obligation. I always prayed for him to get better, and I pray that one day he does. One day, right? We can all pray. Prayer works wonders. The people being mean about me talking about it, they would laugh with him after he beat me. They would watch him beat me, and they would laugh. They would post about me. You know? It's like, I don't see power in their anger anymore. I don't see power in the embarrassment that people try and place on me anymore. I see it as fear-mongering, control, right? To protect an image that isn't so true. I can admit where I'm shitty. I can admit the things I've done. And I'm always working on it. I'm always like, if something surfaces, I feel the urge to talk about it. I'm like, I did this, you guys, and look at, this is how it affected my life. I did this, I lived like this. Look at how it affected my life. And I have people saying that it's helping them realize, you know what, you're right, I'm not just a shit person, I can change. And that's where I'm going with this. That's what I want to do. This is the new age of healing. We need to talk about the things that fucked us up. Because it feels good. It was literally like, okay, usually I have back pain and I'm like all crackly and popping, you know? Snap, crackle, pop over here. Do they have that anymore? I think it's hard to find that stuff. Okay, anyway. Like, okay, I want to talk about something that I'm kind of noticing. And we all have like chakras and stuff, and I noticed I'm always getting pain down by my lower spine, by my bum. And that's where your root chakra is. That's your sense of security. That's your grounding, everything. He removed that from a very young age, 1333, when I talk about this. He removed all of my security. I already had very little, but my grandparents restored it, right? When I moved to high level, I just had very little. My sacral was messed up. The sexual chakra, I just gave myself to everyone as a little girl because that's what everyone wanted of my whole childhood, right? So I healed that, but then I just couldn't feel safe. The root chakra, look up the root chakra and connection to money, you guys. If you have any kind of abuse, mental, anything, your root chakra is where it's stored, and that, like, you have to go from the root up. Please take this serious because I'm having revelations. And so I Googled it last night because when something pops in my head, I have to learn, I have to read. And the pain, it's not there anymore. Like my hips, I'm not waddling or walking with a limp, you know? I got no, no pain. That's weird to say. I've been going to the chiropractor for years. And my vision is clear. Like, I used to get goo and blurry-eyed. I can see clear. Everything, like, it doesn't look gray anymore. I didn't realize how hard I was fighting to stay positive, and I was carrying something so secret, you know? I didn't realize how badly this affected just everyday life, because I didn't want to blame or do any of that, and I was conditioned to think you're blaming someone, you're talking shit about someone by the abuser and his family, and it's not my responsibility. He handed that to me. He gave that story to me. And why do I have to put it away in the back of the closet and collect dust and shit and mites? I wanted to take that out. I wanted to, you know, heal. I'm allowed to heal. We're all allowed to heal. If you're carrying this story that involves other people, just don't trash them when you talk about it. Because I know I didn't. I told you guys the things that really hurt me and affected me for the rest of my life. And it did. I couldn't even, I'm still single, I'm 30, I'm going to be 31 this year. All because I have this image of men cheating constantly, and I think every man I've ever been with, I'm suspicious that they're gay. That's my biggest issue. Yeah, I'm going to openly admit that. Every man I've ever been with, I'm like, you're a cheater, and you're gay. Like, always in my head, and it just leads to a really bad breakup, and me being toxic. And me fucking up a little bit of their mentality, and I'm tired of doing that. And I feel like things are going to be different now, you know? It's not his fault. It's my fault for not healing from this earlier. I should have talked about this earlier, right? I gave my power away by staying quiet and admitting that I was the shitty one. Yes, I did shitty things, but there is something inside of me, living inside of me, controlling my life and the way I thought. This little fucking demon, I had to get rid of it. And I feel so different and happy now. It's literally like I'm not carrying somebody else anymore. No one's on my back, you know? Even people getting mad at me, those 3, I don't give a flying fuck, you know? Go tell your story. Go tell your story and you'll understand, baby. It's okay. I love you and I support you. You can say all the mean things you want about me. If it makes you feel better, I'm here for it. I told you, I'm here for the healing. Go talk shit about me. If it makes you feel good, do it. I encourage it. Here you go. Do it, right? It doesn't bother me. It doesn't faze me. I meant no harm when I talked about my story. And yeah, it's just, okay, so I felt like light air lifting off my body the last 24 hours. I'd feel shakiness because I could feel when they were talking about me. And the girl, when I deleted her comment, she found me on Facebook, and I just blocked her right away. I was like, I'm not taking that on. You're saying a lot of hateful things, and there's no reasoning. If someone wants to see you a certain way, they're going to see you a certain way, and they're going to try and make other people see you the same way, because they can't process that maybe someone has pain from a situation that affects their family, right? And it, you know, I don't think anyone should attack him. I don't think anyone should, like, disown him. But just be cautious who you make friends with, especially if you're a girl. Because some men have obsessive tendencies and they secretly will control you for the rest of your life with little secrets they keep about you. If you're emotionally vulnerable, you give your power away. When you start building boundaries and saying, I don't like this disrespect, and you start pulling away, you'll notice a difference in your life. Like, I have so many people call me a shitty loser and everything because I finally pull away after so much toleration, you know? I have zero tolerance, but I have utmost respect. I do. I do. And you know what, the thing about this, me holding all of this in, it was making me disrespectful. Like, I was starting to take jabs at people, and I am so against that. I'm so against making jabs towards people. I don't like it. It makes me uncomfortable. When I see other people doing it, I'm like, oh, that looks bad for both sides, except it just really looks bad for the one posting it. And I was starting to do that. You know why? Because I was triggered. After seeing him at breakfast, ever since then, I've been up and down with my emotions and unable to control myself. Pain in my body, hitting harder than ever. Anytime his name was mentioned, or I seen a picture, or someone would confide in me about him, because that's what was starting to happen. People were starting to message me and find comfort in me, and I have no issues with that, guys. I promise. I'm not ragging on it. I'm just saying it would send me back to a place like, how do I help these people? How do I stop it? How do I give them their power back? Because it was starting to just cycle through my mind, like, he's still doing it. He's still doing it. How come? Like, how do we help them? And that's where it was. And I was starting to take on a very protective stance, like overly opinionated, posting jabs about people talking shit, and it's like, I'm not usually like this. How come something is like making me feel this tinge of resentment towards not minuscule things, right? I had to figure that out, and something just kept pushing these memories of what my past and where it all started. I meditated and I asked, and it came forward, guys. This is what happens when you ask spirit to help you heal something. They're gonna show you, and you're not gonna like it. You're gonna think, no, that's not the problem, it's me. But it's connected to something, and it's not their fault. They were in pain too. That's how you start healing, is you have compassion for all people in the situations. What a fearful thing for someone to talk about something you did when you were in the most pain in your life, right? I can openly say that. I can openly say, like, I understand and I know why people are mad. But it's not for me to carry, because I carried that for like nearly 14 years. That's pretty fucking wild to me. And I still have not been able to get past being responsive if people were trying to just, you know, confront me about things. Responsive, ruin my life. No, get the fuck away from me. Nope, I had that wall up, right? I lived like this for a long time, and it ruined my life. And you know, for some reason, just having that root, that stability, like not having grounding or safety or security, not feeling safe ever, because people were still slandering me. I was still in my head a lot. People telling me, like, people, yeah, they still talk shit about you, the whole family. It's like, why? I don't even talk about them. They took my son away from me and kept putting in his head that they don't want him around me. And it's like, hearing this was heartbreaking, all of it. But I just took it, because they offered financial help to keep me hush hush. That's all they could give me, financial help and pretending to love me. But I take my power back from it. I don't agree with paying someone off to make them feel like you love them and you're there for them, right? I seen it as love, and now I see it as hush hush money. That's all they talk about too. Is how I need help, and I would ask them, because that was all I had. Everyone else in my family left me because of my toxic behavior. And that's fine. Thank you, God, for removing people who don't really believe me and think low of me. Thank you. I'm not mad about it. I'm not trashing anyone. Everyone needs to protect themselves, and I want them to. Just like me, I need to protect myself too, right? So I took my power back from that, and I feel like I am going to be in a better state of mind for jobs, for rentals, even buying a house, having a car, taking better care of my cars, because I could never take care of anything. I couldn't keep my room clean. Like, it was a struggle. I couldn't keep the routine of cooking meals 3 times a day if needed on weekends. I couldn't keep a routine of, like, being able to be alive for more than 3 days. I'd have to just go sit in bed and, like, lose myself and just feel sad, and I'd be so confused and obsessed with the thought that people don't like me because of someone saying one thing, like, oh yeah, I seen a tweet about you. It's like, it ruined me because I was keeping a secret. I was ashamed. I had to remove the shame, and I feel really good, and I'm sorry that it hurt people. I really am, but it was not my responsibility.